Alright guys, today I have my 2017 year in review, and I'd just like to start off by saying thank you guys so much for making this year the best year of my life and the best year of cubing. For me so far, I've been cubing for about 2 years. I just started in like December of 2015, and 2017 has been the year of my life and in cubing that I've seen the most growth and improvement, and I'll just kind of be overviewing the year and what made it so great. So to start off at the beginning of the year, I in February I got my first ever sub 10 single, which was an 8.73, which boosted my self-esteem so much to finally have a sub 10 single. And back then I was averaging about 14 and a half seconds. And then after that, in March, I went to my first ever competition, which was K-Cubing Winter 2017. I met a ton of great people. So many of my friends now I met at that competition. And that competition overall was great for me, and it made me feel so good about the cubing community, and it made me want to compete again and again and again. At that competition, I did fairly well for me at that time. I only competed in 3 events, which were 3x3, 2x2, and Scube, because that was all of the events they offered at that competition that I knew how to compete in. So the year progresses, and I remember one of the distinct things happening was in April. I broke my 3x3 PB single at making it go from 8.73 to 8.12, which was my first ever full step sub 9, and it was my longest standing 3x3 PB single ever. That single held until about September, and that single was just a significant part of the year for me. And then in June, unfortunately, I broke my ankle, and that kind of made life a lot harder for me, but that was another incentive for me to practice more, and because I couldn't really move around and do other things. So it made me practice more, and I set my PB average of 5 down to 10.01, which it held until about September or October, just like my 8.12 single. And then this summer, I also had SCC Summer 2017, where I met a whole other group of amazing people who I'm still friends with now, and everyone at that competition, the vibe was just great, the people were great. I didn't really podium in anything, but I did compete in 3 new events of that competition, which were 5x5 one-handed, 5x5 one-handed square one, and it was that competition that influenced me a little bit to start getting faster at square one, which is now my favorite and main event. And then as the year progresses, in about September-ish, I got my first ever sub 10 average, which was pure sub 10, which made me really happy, and I got my first ever sub 8 single, which was 7.81. And then just recently, the end of October, early November, I had 2 competitions on back-to-back weekends. I had St. Louis 2017 and K-Cubing Fall 2017, back-to-back weekends, October 29th and November 4th, respectively. St. Louis was all around amazing. I just loved it. I got my first ever sub 10 single in competition, which now I have, I think, 7, and I have a sub 10 single streak of 6 consecutive rounds, and that competition was amazing. It was my first ever time I made 3x3 finals, and I got my first ever magnetic cube, which is the cube I'm using in these solves. And I just love that competition. Met a ton of great people. All of my friends who have YouTube channels that I've met over the years and I'm still in good contact with, I will be putting in the description in just a giant list. And then to go on to K-Cubing Fall, that competition was amazing. I think I broke almost all my PBs except for Scube in square one. But I did get my first podium, which was 2nd place in square one. Although it was a fail average, it was still it wasn't really decent, but at least I got a podium, and that made me really happy. So, yeah, thanks guys for making this the best year. I'm looking forward to 2018 to be so much better and improve so much, meet a lot of great people, have a ton of fun competitions. My next competition is guaranteed SEC Winter 2018, and I might be going to Cubing for Kids 2018. So yeah, thanks for making it a great year, to all my friends, and thanks guys. I'll see you in 2018.